Hello, everybody. We'll give her just another minute here or so to let a few more folks trickle in, and we'll get started. If you didn't see the chat box there, go ahead and open that up. We'll be using that, and notice the very first chat there, session is going to be recorded. Okay, I got 3 minutes past the hour here, so we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. My name is Brian Thull. I'm a product marketing manager for John Deere, specific responsibilities recently for the new C650 Air Cart. So looking forward to answering any questions that you might have, field any comments that you might have for us. With me on the line today, I do have my colleague John from our customer and product support group. It's going to help me out with some of these questions as well. We also have Charlene, who is in charge of all of our shows and events in Canada, based out of Canada, as well as our marketing rep, Riley. She's fairly new to the seating group, so going to be helping me out with tabulating some of the questions that do come in. So first off, want to thank you all for the time today. And again, would like to direct your attention towards the bottom of your screen, find that chat function, and feel free to utilize that for the next 30 minutes or so here while we're together. So I'll be quiet and let you guys fire away. Charlene did just make another comment there. If you prefer to use your microphone, by all means, certainly can ask me questions verbally as well. We don't see some questions rolling in here. I do have a little bit of information prepared that I can run through that may spark some questions, comments, or points of clarification for you.
Hey Brian, this is Riley. Can you just go over a little bit about what's new with the C650 Air Cart for this year?
Yeah, sure. So let me Let me just try to share my screen with you guys. Okay. So should be seeing that now. Try to go. Just a second. There we go. All right. So all right, I think I'm good here. Hopefully everyone can see the beautiful picture of a tow between C650 on the screen with the words John Deere C650, orderable June 2020. So first off, would like to let you guys know, if you're not already aware, that these new John Deere C650 Air Carts are orderable today. Started taking orders a little over a month ago, with our production starting here in the fall of this year. So they are orderable. Visit your local John Deere dealer for any ordering questions or anything else that you might have as far as questions on trade-ins or anything like that. But to get into some of the just newness about the Air Cart itself, a lot of the same technology that we have on the C850, if you guys are familiar with that. But if not, a couple of really major things that we'll get into more detail in a few more slides. But big thing, individual tank scales. All 4 of the tanks are individually cradled, which allows us to weigh them all individually. The biggest, well, two big reasons that's a huge plus for you guys. Number one, just being able to continually verify how much product's in your tanks. But really the biggest thing is that it enables a feature called Active Cal, which is an active calibration of your meters on the go. It does not replace the need to do an initial manual calibration, but as throughout the day, as conditions are changing, as terrain's changing, you can run a calibration from your cab without having to get out. You do have to stop, but you do not have to get out or do anything real manually. Initiate an active cal, and it'll tell you after you've seeded out approximately 10 acres that that you could potentially accept a new MDV or meter displacement value if you want. It does give you the option to leave what you started with at the beginning of the day as well, or whenever you did that crop changeover. So huge thing on the tank scales there. Another big thing you'll notice from the picture in the bottom right-hand corner there under Superior Seeding Solution, we've got a tow between configuration. We did not have that in a C850 or the 550 bushel 1910. So there was a big gap there. Basically, after our 430 bushel 1910, you did not have a tow between option. So we've added that to our 4-tank C-Series Air Cart. Unique to the C-Series is going to be that very frontmost tank that's closest to the drill or the tractor cab for your canolas and your inoculants and things like that. Mini tank. It does have a couple of fill points, which we'll get to later on here. But in addition to the scales and the capacity, the configuration, and that mini tank addition, high flotation tires, you're not going to have to worry about it getting stuck in your more moist conditions. The lids are a huge improvement over the 1910s. If you're familiar with that today, slide out of the way, contour to the side of the tank, so you're not having to worry about getting your conveyor spout hooked up on it. And lastly, these C-Series carts do come with an on-cart conveyor, hydraulically operated. This slide usually gets a lot of attention. So compatibility with John Deere air drills, you're looking at the P556 and P576, formerly known as the 56 and 7670, or Conservapack for the folks that are familiar with that term in Canada. The N560 and N543Fs, again, formerly the 1895s. And then the two larger widths of our 1890s as well, the 50 and 60 foot 1890 drills. The last one there that I haven't mentioned, more specific to model year 21 and newer, is that 61 foot 1830. So a lot of more compatibility than we had with the C850, and trying to knock out all of the larger width tools to match up with the larger capacity tanks that you've got. I'll keep going. I haven't seen any questions just yet, but certainly don't hesitate to interrupt me. Tractor compatibility, specifically if you're thinking about a C650 and you're maybe in a smaller 370, 430 bushel cart today, horsepower requirements is going to be something that you need to be thinking about, because as you step up in the capacity of the cart and as you might widen your drill width, you're likely going to need some significantly higher horsepower. So the cart itself is going to demand 105, but the majority comes with the tool. We usually say anywhere from 5, 6, maybe 7, or at the top end 8 horsepower per foot of drill. So that's getting you above 450 horse for that largest tool. So really demanding at a minimum that 550 or more horsepower 9R or 9RX tractor. However, RTs do work for these as well if you do prefer that 2-track system. Another thing to keep in mind as we look at the bottom left-hand corner of this slide is the 4 SCVs required, power beyond and case strain, as well as a hydraulic brake port, because these C650 air carts do come standard with brakes operated with a foot pedal or a button on your Gen 4 display within your cab. Talk about that a little bit more later as well. Speaking of displays, Gen 4 John Deere displays are required for C650 air carts. You can run the 4600 or the 4640 extended monitor. What the monitor is going to allow you to do is see several things, but want to call out that this is where you'll initiate that active cal feature that I was telling you guys about earlier, to actively calibrate your meters on the go, as well as viewing your in-tank cameras or rear view camera. These carts come pre-wired for a camera in each tank as well as one off the back. However, the cameras themselves are purchased aftermarket through the dealership. Another great feature that you're going to see on your Gen 4 display with these carts is that relative flow blockage. If you're not familiar with that, credible enhancement over our old blockage system, allows you to see tower-to-tower variance, and really dial in the sensitivity of those sensors as well, to deal with varying crop types from potentially chickpeas all the way down to canola or inoculant. Here's a little bit more information on those tank scales. I've already touched on a lot of it, but I will turn your eyes to the right-hand side of the screen, and you will see here this is what they actually look like. These are what the load cells look like. There's going to be 4 on all 4 tanks. Talking about that blockage screen just a minute ago, that's what's in the top right-hand corner. This is what you'll see. Couple of different options for it to either cycle through these towers, or you can click on one individually if you think you've got a problem. And then in the bottom portion of the screen there, that's what that active cal feature is going to look like from your run page on your Gen 4 display. Another couple other things that those scales are going to offer you is an acres to empty metric, so that you can make the logistics of your seed tender, seed truck, whatever, much easier. You can tell them exactly where you're going to be, when you're going to be there, as well as viewing your weights from in the tractor cab from your Gen 4 display. The C-Series Air Carts, the C650, as well as its bigger brother, the C850, they've got a cart side display. It's going to show you three things: show you those tank weights, show you your tank pressures and allow you to dial in your tank pressures, and then the third thing is going to be that manual meter calibration. Tank pressures get dialed in with what are called Banjo Valves, those yellow levers at the bottom left-hand side of your screen. The indicators to the bottom right-hand side of the screen will be shown right there from that cart side display, and it even tells you kind of where you want that dial to be depending on what rate you're trying to achieve out of any given tank. So again, huge improvement over those 1910s, which were much more manual gauges. You can see a picture of them in the top right there. Really nice feature. And you can see these pressure readouts right from your cart side display, which I cut the picture off just barely too much. I'm sorry about that, but in the bottom left-hand corner there, you can actually see the right side of that cart side display just left of that last yellow Banjo valve. Approximately the same size as your Gen 4 display in the cab, I'd say. I don't know the exact dimensions, but they're close. Ultrasonic bin level sensors. These carts are outfitted with so many different ways to give you confidence of where your product levels are at and that your products aren't bridging or anything like that. So we do have ultrasonic bin level sensors in each of the tanks. They sit right next to the cameras. Shooting a sensor straight down just to, again, make sure that that product is going down, and really helping you avoid the tank bridging without noticing it. These did replace those paddle sensors, if you recall, or if you have any experience with our 1910s that had a tendency to get gummed up with, say, urea or something like that, and get stuck either open or closed. Advanced system, I did already talk about this one quite a bit. So unless someone has questions on it, I won't belabor the point too much, but I would direct your eyes to that right side of the screen there, top picture. Look how easy that spout gets into that tank lid, and you can go side to side very easily with just picking it up ever so slightly. And then the remote is pictured on the bottom right-hand corner. Same remote as the C850 if you've had any experience running it. And you've got a couple of different speeds of the actual hydraulics of the conveyor, as well as a couple of different speeds of the conveyor belt itself. And speaking of the belts, this is one thing that we did change up just slightly from the C850. The conveyor and everything are the same with the exception of the belt width. We did increase the belt width from 16 inches to 19 inches on this C650 cart, as well as added that cleated belt pattern that you can see in the visual on the top right-hand side of the screen. Helps with your finer products not tumbling back down as much as the less aggressive pattern in the old belts. Here's a really good picture of our lid on top compared to Seed Hawk and Borgo. You know, they, like I said before, they slide out of the way, real nice contour to the side, and the handles are completely out of the way. Nice wide openings for you to hit that spout with. Pretty simple operation. If you guys saw the video that played beforehand, it's just a quick kick of that black pedal right there. and they slide out of the way. To close them up, you just grab hold of that handle and basically pull it, stand it up and pull it up to your chest. Very, very simple operation. Tire options, I mentioned high flotation tires. They are standard from the factory and base. On the toe between, you're getting big 850 metric dual tires. And then on your toe behind, toe behind, you're getting a 900 single up front and 800 duals in the back, with some optionality to go down if you'd like. Here's just some feature call out slide here. I've pretty much gone over all of them, but one thing I didn't touch on were the tank splits. So I would tell you the first three working front to back are the same as the C850. So 50 bushel mini hopper tank, 260, and then the middle tank is 130. The rear tank is 210 bushel. And that's the difference from the C850. The C850 has a 410 bushel rear tank. This one's got a 210. Same air power 2 system that the C850 has. We've got a wagon style hitch on that toe behind. Stairs raise and lower on the toe behind themselves. We've got a hydraulic hitch on the toe between, which I'll go to next here to show you that. Right there. For when it comes time to park this in the shed at the end of the season. So a lot of proven technology and architecture from that C850 brought down to the C650 Air Cart. And then just some spec level detail here. Again, I won't belabor you much with this because we've already talked about pretty much everything except for the air system. It is that B-type air system, similar to like the Vaderstats of the world, but different from Bourgault. They're still on the A-type system. Metering. Section command is going to come standard on all the C-Series carts, giving you that seed savings. We do have the same 5 different meter roller cartridges that you have to choose from, varying sizes from left to right here. The brakes that I already talked about can be applied from a pedal in the tractor or from your Gen 4 display, and what's going to happen is they're going to apply 5 seconds of continuous braking. Going to reduce the push on the cart from the tool when you're traveling down hills and just make things a lot more secure when you're transporting in general. Talked about the wagon hitch. Do have a bolt pull style front hitch on that toe between cart. Much easier attaching, extending the life of both the hitch and the drawbar. And mini tank I already talked about. I want to show you the bag splitter that comes standard on that as well. So you just drop your canola or inoculant bag down. It opens it up for you. Toss it and move on. No worry of dropping any debris in the tank. No worry of dropping your knife or your screwdriver in the tank or anything like that. And as you can see there, that's a gentleman from one of the dealerships up there in Western Canada in Medicine Hat. It's right at waist level. So ergonomically, really, really nice. You're not lifting it up above your shoulders. You're not bending down to your knees. And then the premium lighting package. This is the last slide I have. In-base premium lighting, LED lighting. We've got in-tank lights. You can see that really cool picture in the bottom right. We've got lighting on the hitch. We've got it on the conveyor, the spout, the hopper, as well as on the meters for servicing or clean out at night, whatever the case may be. So I apologize. I went through that all pretty quickly. Would love to answer any questions you have or hear any thoughts that anyone might have. Got about 5 minutes or so left. I can hang on if we start talking about something here. You're welcome, Kevin. Thank you very much for coming. Really appreciate it. Hope you took some away from it. Hope you're excited for this new air cart. Any questions on any other John Deere air seeding products, drills, CCS, anything? If not, no problem. Hang on here a couple more minutes, see if anything comes to mind for anyone. All right, everyone. Well, that'll conclude our 30 minutes for today. Again, thank you very much for the time and stopping by here to learn a little bit more about the C650 Air Cart from John Deere. Thank you to all of you who are current customers. We really, really appreciate your business. And if you have any questions that come up overnight throughout the week, I'll be holding another one of these on Thursday morning. Please feel free to join, or something comes up after this week. Um, your local John Deere dealer will always be your best resource, so reach out to them. And if it's something that they don't know offhand, they can reach out to me. So again, thank you, everyone. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Mitchell, anything you need me to do, or should I go ahead and X out of here?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. And we're pretty clear. Yeah, feel free to head out whenever.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you, Riley. Thank you, Charlene. Thanks, John, if you're still on.